Good evening, my family. It's me. I just wanted to talk tonight about some things that were bearing down on my subconscious a little bit. And to get accurate and clear once again, tonight I'm going to talk about the mass formation psychosis in my shadow ban. I'll roll away today. I'll roll away today. I gotta go, can't you see I know? I love the beach, the biggest waves, the best mountain trails. And I love having the highest grade cannabis. But your social lives are like jails. So I'll go away today. I'll roll away today. So, what exactly happened almost 3 years ago? Dr. Malone has brought it to the public's attention that it's something his research friend calls mass formation psychosis, okay? Which is exactly what it was. So if you go way back to my very first YouTube video that I made in my brother's storage room, you know, even though it was only less than 8 minutes, I mentioned a certain Nazi officer's son is not going to take over the world. And I don't know how many people saw that part, or if any, very many, but or because one of my relatives put it on Facebook, perhaps, you know, within a day or two, 1,100 people saw that. And then my second video I made on this following Sunday morning was special gifts, and I got like 600 views. So maybe my third or fourth video, I started getting into the dark side, speaking directly truth to power, etc. A little bit. Also into psychological healing, and I developed this format of Trey's Timeless 15. And so I must have made over 160 some odd videos now. And I formed a ritual routine involving the normal plant medicines I use: cannabis, coffee, potatoes, and you know, about a month ago or so, I had a hit it for the first time since those first two videos. All of a sudden, talking about narcissism, you know, perhaps I was gleaning 1 or 5% of the views from some of these other people who have 1 million followers or 30,000, more like 30, 40,000 followers talking about this subject, right? Or 80,000. Some professional psychologists and some people such as myself who have done the shadow work to heal or are in the process of it. So, as you all might recall, I came out with a video. It was called "Is Yahweh a Narcissistic Predator Entity?" And I think something like 336 people have watched it. And I know that the president of YouTube is, I don't know, Ashkenazi or a blonde, some kind of blonde Jewish, you know, some type of blonde Jewish person. And I just want to say, you know, I love YouTube, and I am not anti-Semitic. And I actually put a comment on Dr. Romney and Dr. C's conversation that the narcissistic, I called them semantic narcissistic entities. And again, I'm not being racist, but the word semantic meaning word based, meaning the way that this is the first time I think I spontaneously typed that out. Again, going back to my format here is complete spontaneity, although I'll jot notes beside the 2 or 3 hours of brainstorming and jotting notes. Unlike most of these other videos you see on YouTube, I do not, obviously it's raw beside the notes, okay? So this is my format. So this is why I do not believe it's a coincidence that all of a sudden, when I got being willing to face my past and the public ridicule, I, I actually got the idea in my head that I got my little me, the little fledgling, what I used to say YouTube kindergartner, but now I call myself a fledgling YouTuber, would get 450 views or 330 views. And was it because on those particular videos I said poignant comments that were healing, that I actually did my job? I'm asking you, the audience. You tell me what you think, because I'm curious. And this is all about the conversation for me, not the numbers, not the proving it to myself. Although I would like to use this platform to become a professional healer. And, there's many people that would say that it actually was schizophrenic for me to discuss 5 or 7 different key topics of healing, such as Zeta Gray, mind manipulation, psychological narcissism, and shamanism and herbology. But see, to me, they're all connected. They're all connected to the fifth dimensional, the healing, the ascension process. So it's not, it simply goes right back to the point I was coming to make, which I trailed off from here because this is unscripted completely. So what happened is, I don't know whether it was a week, a few days or so after that video came out, I have a feeling it was someone implanted from the dark side. They call them trolls or operators. Just put a comment. This is high schizophrenia. So having Mercury in Capricorn retrograde, Mars in Leo retrograde, and Jupiter in Sagittarius retrograde. Rather, Jupiter in Cancer retrograde and my sun sign in Sagittarius. I had to follow the impulse to do the most stupid, most socially retarded, and completely dumb thing. And again, really, this is why some of you who never heard of me before now, because my mom begged me for 3 years because I knew it was a really stupid thing socially. I got my money collecting cans out of the garbage, literally about $5 for 3 hours worth of work. I'd ask her to send me $50 about once a month at the most in those days. And after she begged me for 3 years, suffering with Mr. SA for a decade, I caved in, okay? So they made me sign something that said I have physical skin, turns out a blood condition and a skin condition and mental. So as soon as I made 2 videos called The Myth of Mental, partially about the book review about this book called The Myth of Mental Illness by Thomas Stas, but also told the story. And actually before that, as soon as she put that comment, okay? Not I didn't even have to go into this stupid idea of explaining myself. But this is how it works, okay? It's called shadow banning, or trolls, the 3D slave personality, or the person. We all grew up with the Hollywood Illuminati machine beast, 666 system of media, right? So sick media, right? So as soon as that comment, especially when I got defensive, or from some people's perspective, right, to make those videos, I've never had more than 5, 10, 15, 20 people watch any of my videos since. Now, is that a coincidence? Is that really? Did my self-confidence plummet? Did my inspiration plummet? Nah, I made about 4 or 5 or 10, 15 videos maybe that were just as inspired as the ones before that got, hundreds of views. About maybe at least 5 more videos about narcissism, narcissistic abuse that were just as inspired as those other ones. No, I believe that some people who work at YouTube who are Jewish, or some other people, again, there's such a thing as shadow banning. And so when they went and looked at my material and saw how I was cutting to the truth of their manipulation, their control, or just their hierarchy, man, they felt threatened by that title that, I had the audacity to string those words together to get 300 people to watch it, that it was going to threaten the hierarchy. But really, I threaten no one. You know why? Because it's the threats that created that mass formation psychosis in 2020. And I want to say to the YouTube executives and those who have given other people strikes or deleted their accounts or took down videos because they told the truth, hey, thank you for leaving me alone. But you know what? Like, this other person who happened to be someone who's more of an insider, who's honest, made a comment that I just wanted to check in and give you a thumbs up. And she gave me a thumbs up. And then she said, I just wanted to see if they're messing with the numbers, and they are. Okay? Now, I don't know. I'm not sure if that was after that video or before that, but that keyed me in. So I emailed them, or I responded back to, I didn't know what they meant. And of course, they didn't want to get themselves in trouble with their connections or whatever. So you can find that in the comments. And the point I'm saying is that back off, beast system. Back off, Satan. Back off, Lucifer. Okay? You know why? Because, again, I have to say that I'm asking the owners and the creators of YouTube as a platform to please have equality with me. I don't, I've been targeted my whole life, particularly in this town, of course, and since Jenny Panetta is in charge of the housing authority, it wasn't seeming to be so much in the cards. But, I played my melodica along with DJs. They would have dances at nightclubs and restaurants in Santa Cruz for about 10 years. And it faded out, maybe about a year or two before the lockdown in 2020. Because as my friend Nicholas said, most people would get really high before they went to these free reggae Jamaican dances, or would be smoking a bunch of weed in front of it usually. And about 90% of the DJs loved it when I jammed with them, and I had a great time. There was this one blonde-headed woman, good-looking woman, and about my age. She would wear all black, and she would approach women when they were getting a little bit horny, watching me play the horn, or about to dance with me, about to rub a dub. And she would whisper in their ear, he's a homeless guy, or he stays in a tent, or he has, Mr. S.A., and this same woman, I saw her do this 3 or 4 times at these free reggae events. So I'm not unfamiliar with shadow banning. I've just moved online in August of 2022 for the first time in my 45 years in this body, or 44 years in that point. So I just want to say, back off and give me a chance to do it organically. Okay. I'm just saying, I'm not 100% certain that that's the case, but it's pretty blatant, okay? So get real, get respectful, and eventually we can all learn equanimity, harmony, self-love, self-respect, peace, and discernment. And YouTube is allowing more truth through every day. So many blessings and one love, and have a great day or create a great one.